Kenya is one of the fastest growing countries in Africa and the world. From 2010 to 2019, Kenya's growth per capita grew from $52 billion to an incredible $152 billion, making it the fastest growing country in Eastern and Central Africa. Before Kenya's emergence to the summit, Ethiopia was the fastest growing country in the region. Kenya continues to experience steady economic growth, with real GDP expanding on average by about 5.6% over the last 5 years. In 2019, however, economic activity softened primarily due to lower agricultural output and weak private sector investment. Focus Economics analysts calculated a project GDP growth of 5.1% in 2022, which is down 0.2 percentage points from last month's forecast, and 5.1% in 2023. In this video, we look at 10 mega projects in Kenya, including one project that will almost double the country's GDP in the near future. My name is Lisa. Please support this channel by liking this video and subscribe. 10. Thiba Dam. The Thiba Dam is located in Rukenya, Gichugu constituency of Kirinyaga County in Kenya. The purpose of the dam was developed to improve irrigation facilities. This would bring stable supply of water required by agriculture in the irrigation scheme. The 40 meters tall and 1 kilometer long dam, being built about 130 kilometers northeast of the Kenyan capital of Nairobi, creates a reservoir that will allow a second harvest every year. The contract value amounts to approximately $80 million. And also includes the connection to the existing road network as well as facilities for water draw-off and safe floodwater drainage. The construction of the project started in March 2018 and is scheduled to last around 45 months. Nine. The Pinnacle Hilton. The Pinnacle, also Pinnacle Towers, is a building on hold in Nairobi, the capital and largest city of Kenya. When completed, the skyscraper is expected to become the second tallest building in Africa after Egypt's iconic tower, and the third tallest building in the southern hemisphere, at 70 stories and over 1,000 feet, 300 meters, in height. The development is a joint venture by Hass Petroleum, an East African petroleum products distributor, and the White Lotus Group, a Dubai-based investment firm. The budgeted construction cost for the Pinnacle Towers is $200 million. Of that, the developers contributed $50 million, and the balance was borrowed from Afrexim Bank and some Kenyan banks. The main contractor is China State Construction Engineering Corporation. 8. Kipevu Oil Terminal. The construction of the 770-meter-long jetty, currently at 96% complete, is wholly funded by the Kenya Ports Authority and is implemented by China Communications Construction Company. When complete in April this year, the offshore facility will be able to load and offload very large sea tankers of up to 200,000 DWT carrying all categories of petroleum products including crude oil, white oils and LPG. The project consists of one offshore island terminal with 4 berths, whose total length is 770 meters and one workboat wharf at the Westmont area for landing facilities. The facility also has 5 subsea pipelines, which were buried 26 meters under the seabed to allow for future dredging of the channel without interfering with the pipes. The terminal also has provisions for handling 3 types of white oil products: aviation fuel, diesel, and petrol. The Kipevu Oil Terminal will cost in excess of 40 billion Kenya shillings, which is about $350 million. The new oil terminal will effectively replace the old Kipevu Oil Terminal, situated on the mainland port rights, which was built in 1963 to serve the then East Africa Oil Refinery, which later became the Kenya Petroleum Refineries Limited. 7. Lapsset Project, Lamu Port, South Sudan, Ethiopia. Transport Corridor Project, also known as Lamu Corridor, is a transport and infrastructure project in Kenya that, when complete, will be the country's second transport corridor. The construction of Lapsit's main components, for example, ports, pipelines, roads, railways, is currently ongoing, with construction of the first berth of Lamu Port completed in October 2019. The Lamu Port construction project is currently being funded by the government of Kenya, using domestic tax revenue. The oil pipeline alone is expected to cost $4 billion. The crude oil pipeline will run from Lamu to South Sudan and Addis Ababa. The Lapsit project is Kenya's biggest project that connects East African countries. The 2240 kilometers project will almost double Kenya's growth per capita. The biggest project in East Africa currently will cost 2 trillion Kenya shillings, estimated at about 17 billion United States dollars. Completion of the Lapsit Corridor project will strengthen the position of the East African region as a gateway in transport. The Lapsit Corridor project is a Kenya Vision 2030 flagship project and is the first high-impact infrastructure project initiated by the government of Kenya without external assistance. This project is the single largest project of its nature in Eastern Africa, and Lapsit will become Kenya's second largest transport corridor once the project has been completed. Nairobi-Mombasa Expressway. The Nairobi-Mombasa Highway is a 4-lane toll highway in Kenya. The highway will link Nairobi, the capital and largest city of Kenya, to Mombasa, the largest seaport of the country. The new highway is expected to cut travel times between the two cities from the current 6 to 10 hours to approximately 4 hours. The expressway is intended to serve as a central part of the national and regional transport system, helping promote trade and development in Kenya and the regional neighbors of Uganda, Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Burundi, and South Sudan. The cost of constructing this expressway is budgeted at $2.1 billion. Funding is from the Export-Import Bank of the United States. The construction works were initially expected to begin in 2018, but were delayed by several months and pushed to 2019. When fully operational in 2024, the Nairobi-Mombasa Highway will become the country's first high-speed expressway. Five. Konza City. Konza Technopolis, previously called Konza Technology City, is a large technology hub planned by the government of Kenya to be built 64 kilometers south of Nairobi, on the way to the port city of Mombasa. It is marketed as a key driver of Kenya's National Development Plan, known as Kenya Vision 2030. The project sits on 2,000 hectares, 5,000 acres, of land in Machakos County. It is estimated to cost 1.2 trillion Kenyan shillings, approximately $14.5 billion. Konza Technopolis was allowed by the Parliament Account Committee and endorsed by the Kenyan government. The initial feasibility and concept master plan was prepared jointly by Deloitte and Pell Frischmann, a UK-based design consultancy, and funded by the International Finance Corporation. During the feasibility study, Pell Frischmann proposed a city, Konza Technology City, to make the technology park a more viable destination. The Kenyan government agreed and commissioned a new master plan for a city. 4. Standard Gauge Railway. The Mombasa-Nairobi Standard Gauge Railway is a standard gauge railway in Kenya. It connects the large Indian Ocean city of Mombasa with Nairobi, the country's capital and largest city. This SGR runs parallel to the narrow gauge Uganda Railway that was completed in 1901 under British colonial rule. At a cost of $3.6 billion, the SGR is Kenya's most expensive infrastructure project since independence, which hired 25,000 Kenyans to work on the railway. 3. Nairobi Expressway. Usage has now started on Nairobi Expressway, the 27-kilometer expressway that stretches from Lalongo through Uhuru Highway to the James Gichuru Road junction in Westlands has started to be used on a trial basis last March, approximately 3 months earlier than anticipated. According to the Transport Cabinet Secretary, the expressway is now 95% complete, and most of the machinery that was being used has been moved to construct the Langata Road viaducts. What is remaining to complete the project is auxiliary infrastructure, including the 27 toll booths. The over $560 million road project is the first major project in the Kenya to be carried out through a PPP model. 2. Tatu City. Tatu City is a 5,000-acre new city with homes, schools, offices, a shopping district, medical clinics, nature areas, a sport and entertainment complex and manufacturing area. The first phase of construction of Tatu City began in 2012. Occupants were expected to move into residential units by the last quarter of 2013, and commercial and retail operations were expected to open in 2014. Tatu City is a private-owned sector. Several influencers merged assets to build the estate. The building and polishing continues. One. Northland City. The Kenyatta family is undertaking an ambitious real estate project that will result in an 11,000-acre mixed-use estate comprising residential, industrial, and commercial units hosting about 250,000 people. Dubbed Northland City, the development that is estimated to cost $500 billion will occupy an 11,576 parcel of land in Ruru, about 15 kilometers from the Nairobi city center. The land, which is traversed by the Eastern Bypass, is owned by the Kenyatta family and is currently occupied by its dairy processor Brookside and Gichiha Farm, the family's livestock rearing business. The Northland City Master Plan will be executed in 4 phases over a span of 50 years.